She cried for 12 or 14 hours a day. She would not stop crying.
I was in tears because I said, what am I doing wrong?
There was a point where he was literally fussing every 30 to 45 minutes all night long.
It was taking its toll on me mentally and physically.
I could not soothe my child. And I remember thinking, what did I get myself into?
And that's why we started the Fussy Baby Network. The Fussy Baby Network was developed at Erikson Institute, a graduate school in child development. Part of our mission is knowledge in the service of children, and part of our commitment is to be in the community and offering support and services.
A little baby can just disrupt your whole household.
Can you talk a little bit about those tougher moments?
Parents tell us that, number one, they are physically and emotionally exhausted.
I was so exhausted, and I couldn't satisfy her. And she was crying all the time. My husband was practically fainting.
Second thing parents tell us is that they pull back. They isolate themselves.
I didn't feel comfortable going to the doctor. I didn't feel comfortable enough to go out and join a play group because I was embarrassed.
The third thing families tell us they do is they hunt for the cause, and they want to know what to do.
If you want to let your baby cry it out in his crib, you can find 5 books to tell you to do that. If you want to hold your baby and rock your baby constantly, you can find 5 books to tell you that's the right thing to do.
With the increased stress and with the isolation and that unanswered question, parents begin to lose confidence in themselves as a good parent and in their baby.
I felt like I was a disappointment to her. I wasn't fulfilling her. I wasn't the enjoyment that she looked for. I wasn't the smile, the sunshine. I wasn't nothing. I was just a stranger that she didn't want.
Estimates vary, but I think we could safely say that 1 in 5 babies cries excessively, enough that it's really a challenge for the family. And that's a lot of babies.
Families in the first months of life, the number one cause that they turn to a pediatrician, but outside of the scheduled visit, is for excessive crying.
And so since I was
Most of the babies are developing normally, but the experience that the family is having is not typical. Their neighbor isn't having the same experience with the baby. Their sister-in-law didn't have a baby that cried all night. So they begin to feel very different from other families. We know that excessive crying can go along with maternal depression. We also know that it can correlate with increased conflict between the parenting partners.
I just got in the car and I left. I told him, I said, I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm leaving. And I left him and I left her, and I just drove around for a few hours and just to get away from hearing that crying.
And crying is the trigger for shaken baby syndrome. It's the trigger not only for child abuse, but for child fatality. So it's really important that we have a support for parents before the baby's born, right after delivery, and during those early months when the incidence for shaken baby syndrome is highest.
Instead of reaching out to get some real help, we end up reacting toward the child. That's not what we need to do. So that's where I was, but not to the point of hurting Tina, and don't misunderstand me, but that's where I was in my stress level with my getting any rest. I know I needed it.
The positive side is that this is a very open time for parents, that parents are very psychologically available during this period around birth.
doesn't know you.
There you go, yeah. Well, it's nice to have you.
The Fussy Baby Network has 2 major goals. The first is to help parents with that urgent problem that they called us about.
And what does he look like when he's getting really fussy and he's starting?
The other part is we want to do it in a way that really supports their competence and their confidence and their ability to handle these bumps in the road and become stronger as a parent.
You have to listen to a family, no matter what. You have to validate their experience and that you're learning through this together.
I've been wondering what it's been like these past few days taking care of little Rico.
It takes the collaborative process of looking, of listening, of asking questions, and then together with the parent and with the baby, because the baby's a partner, we come to some understanding.
I mean, on the one hand, that it's nice to have her in the swing for that, and I do put her in the swing at dinner time because that way I can sit down with Jane and we can have a nice little dinner together. Then I feel like really bad because that's like a whole big chunk of time in the swing.
It seems to me you found a reasonable solution for being one person with 2 little
children who both are needy at the same time.
Parents come to the table with the knowledge and expertise about their baby, and we have to work together to be sure that the medical issues are covered and other issues that could be driving the baby's fussiness. What about jaundice now?
We're set with an interdisciplinary team that can go wherever the family needs us to go. If it's an issue with the baby, we have expertise in that area. If it's an issue with the mom's mental health or the parent-child relationship, we have resources that can go that direction. If it's just family stress and all hell's broken loose and they are going to get through it, we can be there for that too.
Bringing her home and all of a sudden her crying so much.
And it kind of was all of a sudden. I mean, it felt like it.
The Fussy Baby Network makes home visits, which we offer within 2 days of a parent first calling us. There's a warm line which offers telephone support to families. If a baby needs a developmental evaluation, we can arrange a clinic appointment. The Fussy Baby team offers its expertise to community programs who are also seeing babies and parents in a range of settings. There are parent groups, both in English and in Spanish.
We have a team now that is bilingual, Spanish and English, and most of us are bicultural as well. And it just gives a different perspective to understand some of the other issues that might be at play with Latino families.
Fussy Baby also works nationally to help sites around the country establish these services for families in their own communities. What we're learning from our evaluation is that the parents' stress goes down, that they view their baby more positively, that signs of maternal depression go down, and that the mother's sense of self-efficacy goes up, gets stronger. We also find that parents like the program. They would recommend it to other families, and they value both the emotional support and the practical assistance that they get.
It just gave me more and encouraged me more, and it built my confidence up to a point where there is something I can do.
And if families learn in these early bumps in the road how they can handle it well, how they can work as a team, how they can understand their child better, and how they can come through it with support, they can take that with them to the next bump in the road and really be strengthened through this process.